I'll say, okay, the number 9 reason we know that leftists hate Black Americans is gun laws, strict gun laws.
Mm.
When you talk about slavery, you talk about Jim Crow. Um, some of the first gun restrictions came after the slaves were freed.
Ooh, blue laws.
Um, those laws restricted specifically Black Americans from owning firearms in fear of retaliation for being slaves.
That was the danger.
That was it.
They were going to retaliate if they had guns, and we needed to keep the guns out of their hands.
Yeah. And it sounds like a just reason, doesn't it? Like, imagine being a liberal or a Democrat or a white American back then. Slaves are freed. Probably disagree with that anyway. But now they got guns. Why do they have guns? Because a lot of them fought in a war to earn their freedom. So they had guns that were theirs, and those guns were a lot of times taken away from them or restricted. They had to keep them in their houses, blah blah blah, because of fear of retaliation. And then you fast forward to maybe 1930s. I think it was 1934 when all the mobster stuff came out. Now you have the
Tommy gun,
the NFA Act, which says that they banned automatic weapons. They banned automatic weapons in 1934.
Yeah.
They were banned in 1934.
He's highlighting that for you guys so that when politicians get up on platforms and start talking all that dumb stuff
about automatic weapons. Yeah. The average citizen cannot purchase, first of all,
80 years.
Yeah. The average citizen cannot purchase any automatic weapon. And if some person was able to purchase one, it would cost them hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
There's a gun called an MP5. It's a submachine gun. It's an automatic weapon. That's probably one of the guns you would see in a Tommy gun. Mobsters shooting around a room. They still are around in this country. The only people who have their hands on them are government people.
Yeah.
And they're government people can buy them because it's a very old gun. They can buy them on bidding websites. Look up an HK MP5 and see how much they cost.
Yeah.
They're hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And they're not that many in the country. So any mass shooting at a school or anything like that, it's not done with automatic weapon. No. They virtually don't exist for the average American.
Correct.
Now, how does that relate to Black people? Let me go here. So, yeah, strict gun laws mostly have adverse effects on low-income Americans. The people that need firearms the most in inner cities are low-income Americans. The people who populate the inner cities the most are Black Americans. Black Americans populate the inner cities the most. They need firearms the most. But guess what they can't do? Because poverty, let me back up. The reason they need firearms the most is because poverty brings crime. That's just a statistical fact.
Yeah.
Poverty brings crime.
Yeah.
And real people, not everyone in those inner cities are committing crimes. Right. Not everybody in the inner city is breaking the law and running around like a savage, but those people do exist in inner cities. And those people still have a Second Amendment right to protect themselves. However, the states get in the way and say, no, you have to pay. Let's use New York as an example. In the Supreme Court, everyone was mad about people being able to legally conceal a firearm. If you're able to legally purchase a firearm, you can legally conceal it, is what the Supreme Court said in the New York hearing this past year. But New York said, sure, the Supreme Court can grant you the right to carry a firearm, but you have to take a 21-hour class.
Yeah.
And that class is $600.
Right. Poor people can't buy it.
You also have to get fingerprinted. The fingerprints are about $80.
Yep.
You need passport photos that are about $20. You also need to buy a safe to store your gun in. You can't keep your gun unlocked in your home. It has to be locked.
Yep.
When you buy your gun, you also have to buy it with a muzzle load lock that sits into the muzzle load is about $40. So we're talking about close to $1,000 before you can own a gun.
And the gun itself will be expensive.
And the gun, that's before purchasing.
Yeah, that's before purchasing the gun.
And by the way, you have to find special magazines for your gun because most manufacturers ship guns with 15 round magazines. In New York, you can only have 10 rounds.
Yeah. So you have to buy extra mags.
You have to buy magazines from somewhere else, and they'll charge you more because they alter the mags. So you'll pay close to $1,000 before you can even own a gun. And these people cannot own firearms basically because it costs too much.
Right. And the criminals pay
$0.
$0.
Yeah.
Would $0 be accurate, Michael?
Yeah. But yeah, that's number 9. That's reason number 9 why strict gun laws are
leftists.
Yeah, it's reason number 9 why leftists hate guns.
Yeah, maybe I'll.